Hello, my Money Sense crew. Happy Friday. I'm so happy to see you here. Today we are going to be talking about what are the things with your finances that do need to change and what are some of the things that you can actually not think about anymore, that you can kind of pat yourself on the back, that you're doing well, that you don't have to think about, like I said, anymore. In the new year, Happy New Year to everybody. Everybody comes on and I know everyone says, new year, new me, but that's just not really the energy that I am here for, because what ends up happening is every January, I notice that people come and they tell themselves, women tell themselves, like, this is the year that I'm going to get my finances together. This is the year I'm going to be organized. And then by February, nothing has really changed, and it's not because they don't care. It's not because they're incompetent in any way, shape, or form. It's because getting my finances together is too vague. Like, what does that even mean? What does that entail? And frankly, it's different for everybody, right? So let's talk about first what you can stop beating yourself up about financially as we go into this new and fresh year. Hopefully, maybe this gets a little bit of mental load off your plate. Number one, if you are saving something, anything into a retirement account, that's great. Good for you. You pat yourself on the back. And I'm sure at this stage, if you're in my age range, which is like elder millennial, Gen X millennial, you probably are saving something into retirement automatically, which is great. So that's awesome. Don't blow that up. There's my kitty right there. Don't blow that up. Don't automatically, don't all of a sudden think you need to change your investment portfolio and change your investment strategy because your brother-in-law talked to you about this great crypto opportunity over Christmas dinner. Like, just keep with the plan, stick with the plan with that process that you've been doing, and that's awesome. And give yourself credit for that. Secondly, if you are not in high interest debt, right? Mostly credit card debt. If you're not in high interest debt, that's great, right? You do not need to aggressively work to pay down a mortgage or a car loan that's under 3%, even under 4%. Those are not things that are financially holding you back. So I think release the tension of thinking, oh my God, I've got to get this debt off. Having interest rates that low, it honestly is almost like free money when you think about inflation over time. And if you have some savings, even if it's not quite enough in your mind, if you have some savings, that's awesome. And that's something that you can kind of stop obsessing over and, again, pat yourself on the back. So things that you're already doing, saving automatically, probably have some savings. If you're not in high interest debt, that's awesome. Do not worry or fret about paying down these low interest credit card or low interest debts like maybe a mortgage or a car loan. But what actually does need attention is the stuff that you've been avoiding, right? And you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. We're talking about the old 401k that you've been meaning to roll over for 3 years. If you are, again, in my age range, I guarantee you at some point you've probably changed careers. And so there could be multiple accounts sitting out there from previous jobs. So those are still sitting there, probably in some random target date fund, being charged fees that you don't even know about or not super transparent, because 401ks are sort of like a complicated mess. It's hard to kind of get to the root of what you're being charged there. So old 401k accounts, things that do need to change this year are maybe you have an investment account out there that you got motivated, you got opened and then funded, and then maybe you just never touched it again because you couldn't figure out what to actually buy, right? Because it's a multi-step process. You need to actually fund the account, and then you need to actually buy something in the account. So a lot of people, that second part is where they kind of fall off and not know what to do next. So we have old accounts like 401ks. We have old just regular investment accounts that maybe you got stalled in. Those need to be taken care of this year. And the fact that you maybe have no idea what your net worth is. Now, your net worth is your whole assets, all your assets, and you subtract out your liabilities. So any of the debts that you have. You probably have never actually done that number and added it all up. So taking the value of all your assets, pulling out all your liabilities, and what's left over, that is your net worth. That is a number that you do need to know. So that is something that if you don't know it, you should be taking care of this year in the new year. There's also stuff like life insurance. You've been meaning to look into, like, what is your current coverage? What do you have? Maybe if you're married with kids, you probably bought something. I mean, by now, again, if you're my age, you could have started having kids 15, 18 years ago. And maybe you bought something then and you're like, I actually have no idea when it ends, how much it's worth. I know that it just automatically gets paid out of my checking account every year. So That kind of stuff, those are the kind of things that you need to be looking at this year and actually taking a little bit of focus on. I know that with life insurance, it can feel more complicated and morbid because it is kind of morbid, but we all are going to die at some point, and we need to know what that would look like in the event that our death comes sooner than we are hoping for it. So definitely keep that on your list as an important step, as an important thing to accomplish this year. These are the things that have been on those mental to-do lists for years, right? And those are the things that actually need to change, because those are the things that probably make you feel a little uneasy about your financial situation, right? I mean, it's great when your 401k contribution just gets pulled from your paycheck. That's great. It's mindless, right? You don't even think about it. So that's not necessarily what's keeping you up at night, because you do see that account fluctuating and growing over time. It's this other stuff that you do kind of have to work a little bit harder to tackle, right? None of this on its own is hard. It's just that really nobody's ever walked you through how all of these things work together and how they make sense for your situation. Like what's important for you in your situation and what should you prioritize. So what ends up happening is it just sits there, right? You end up being distracted. And I mean, life gets in the way, right? Like I'm literally doing this Instagram live 30 minutes before I go to my daughter's birthday party. So it's like, I get it. Life gets in the way. There's always things that are going to pull you in different directions. But every time you think about these things, you probably feel a little bit of guilt. Like, oh God, I hope nothing happens and that everything is okay, because I feel like my shit's all over the place and I don't have things organized. So my challenge here, as I'm wrapping up before I get to this birthday party, is don't try to get your finances together, right? Like that's not even a goal. Like I said, it's too vague. What does that even mean? It's just kind of a wish, right? So instead, pick one thing to focus on and then actually do it. Maybe that's reviewing your life insurance. Maybe that is doing some of the 401k rollover processes. And obviously now I'm biased here. Let me help you do it. I have, in 8 weeks, you can go through this process with me and then never have to think about some of these annoying things again. This is what the Wealthy Woman's Clarity Playbook is about. It's not like some inspirational rah-rah women's group. It's not some, mindset focused thing, although that's very important and we certainly talk about it. It's exactly what you need to do in the order that you need to do it, and then you will understand why it matters for someone that's well established at this stage in your life and career as you are. By the end of February, you could have your full financial picture just managed and mapped out. You could have your protection in place. You know why you have it, where it is, what's going to happen if anything were to happen to you. You would have your accounts organized, and you'd actually have a real plan for investing, right? When people talk about finances, they really focus, I have found in my career. Again, I didn't even introduce myself. I'm Molly Nelson. I've been a financial advisor since 2006. I'm a certified financial planner, which is the highest designation you can get in this field. And so I have seen this over and over in my career where people will focus on investing because it's like, investing is fun. It's kind of the sexy part to see your money grow and, because it's like magic sometimes, right? But if you don't have these other foundational pieces in place, investing doesn't mean anything if shit hits the fan, right? Like it is not going to save your bacon if things really fall apart. So going through the Wealthy Woman's Clarity Playbook, it is very meticulous, it is very strategic, and it frankly is the exact process that as a client-facing financial advisor, if you were to go to a financial advisor as a fiduciary, which means they are legally required to act in your best interest, they have to take you through a process like what my playbook does before they can give you advice, because they can't give you advice if they don't know kind of what your history is and your background is. The playbook does this, and the difference between the two is that if you were to sit in front of a financial advisor, at the end of that engagement, they're going to try to sell you something. They're going to try to convince you to, okay, well, now we've done this plan, let my firm manage your money, right? Give me all those 401k accounts that you just rolled over. Let me manage the money, we'll charge you 1%. The difference here is that I'm taking you through the same process, but I'm helping you learn it. And it's not rocket science. You can learn this. You are very capable and competent of learning this. So at the end of that time together, you will be able to say, I know why I'm making these decisions, and you're not going to be reliant on somebody else to just make them for you and then explain it to you in a vague way so you don't, so just to convince you of this is the right way to do it and this is why. So that's what the playbook does. Enrollment for my January cohort. This is a brand new cohort. I just did a beta test of it in the fall and it went great. So this is my first live group cohort with the playbook, and it starts on Monday. So if you are interested, enrollment is open right now. You can comment ready below and you will get the information right into your DMs. Oops, sorry, I just got a text message. You will get the information right into your DMs. So if you are tired of this being your finances being, something you're going to get into and something you're going to do when things slow down every single year, this is your chance to actually check the box. This is your chance to actually get it taken care of. Again, I'm a CFP. I'm still a licensed financial advisor. I am taking you through this process to empower you how to make these decisions yourself. Plus, the way that I have it structured is that you are in a community that is led by me. So even after the course is over, you still have access to be able to ask questions, because it's not a one and done thing. There are a lot of these things that you'll tackle and then be able to you'll tackle and then they'll be set for quite a while, but you may have to circle back on them. So there could be questions that come up in the future, and that's why I've created the community structure for it. So if you're interested in learning more about enrollment, we start on Monday. You can comment ready below and you will get the information. I'm going to be back tomorrow to talk a little bit more about some of the frequently asked questions about kind of the Wealthy Woman's Clarity Playbook and the process of what that process looks like. So look for me going live tomorrow. Otherwise, this will be on my page. But I hope everybody's having a great Friday. Hopefully you're enjoying this slow week. I'm off to a birthday party. But thanks for being here. I appreciate it. And I look forward to chatting with any of you that have questions in the DMs.